Welcome to Shredding Illusions to Find Realities, and I'm James Sanders. This segment is destroying the "that would take too many people so someone would tell somebody about it" myth used against supposed conspiracy theorists to smear and dismiss them. Ever notice how the bobbleheads on mainstream media, along with the brain-dead puppet parrots, always seem to have a plausible way to help keep things in the dark while preventing critical public opinion mass to push change? They've always got some little seemingly innocuous logic that should dismiss conspiracy theories, causing them to vanish from popular public view. Aren't many of them completely annoying in the absurdity of suggestions revealing their extreme conditioning when just a little bit of scratching and questioning shows the ridiculous in their assertion? It's sad that people can be so utterly stupid or so utterly lazy that they can't see the conditioning in their own responses, because surely if they just think things through a bit further, they'd know better than to use the lamestream media dismissive tools they use. Today, I'm going to shatter the defense presented when someone tries to point out potential issues like 9/11 and similar. The argument people will suggest is it would take too many people to accomplish it to keep it hidden, and therefore it's just conspiracy theory. As such, surely with somebody involved, someone would have said something about it, leaking the realities and the secret to someone. Once again, this preys upon the ignorance of people, and on the surface looks quite legitimate unless one digs deeper. It also fails considering the process used by the Vatican itself in text translations, the process of assigning someone a top security clearance, and the few corporations that own mainstream media, along with the principle of cells as used today in supposed terrorism endeavors. Just look at government in this situation, and you'll understand the very real possibilities of thousands involved, yet nobody knows what's going on until they want us to know what's going on. Take, for instance, our nuclear program. Do you really think there weren't thousands of people involved with that? How about the SR-71 Blackbird, or nuclear submarines, or any other number of similar situations? Do you have any idea of the number of systems involved in the design and building of a stealth aircraft, a nuclear bomb plus delivery systems, or a nuclear submarine? Furthermore, do you know how those systems might need to integrate with one another and the people required to make that happen? How about the involvement of alphabet soup agencies in smuggling arms to freedom fighters? Yet we're never privy of the stuff going on, and for many years never knew it was going on to begin with. How about the people involved through the CIA to topple foreign regimes? How many people do you think it took them to pull off Fast and Furious? How many do you think knew about the Monsanto protection pork recently passed through a rider? How about the space program and rocket propulsion? We knew nothing about these things until they were complete or well on their way. How many thousands do you think were involved with this stuff? Yet we don't know about many specifics related to most of it until they want us knowing. Yes, we know about all these things today, but we had zero clue they were going on until they wanted us to know they were going on. Do I really need to say more at this point to show you the complete absurdity in the assumption and conclusions that we know about something because of thousands of people involved? There is also the fact that the people carrying these things out will more than likely have a top-level classified security clearance, possessing a specific mental footprint and mental character that predisposes them to keeping secrets to begin with. They're not going to put just anyone into these projects. Instead, it will be the ones they can reasonably rely upon to keep their mouths shut, and psychological evaluations help them determine the best subjects for such nefarious endeavors. Of course, given their penchant for using questionable characters to begin with, like gun running with Mexican drug cartels, this provides another pool of employees with just the right mind frame to accomplish things quietly. Bottom line fact, paying people handsomely to do things they know are wrong is a pretty good indicator that they're not going to tell people what they did. Someone accepting money to do things that are wrong will usually not identify the wrongness of their actions and therefore see no reason to report it to others. Moral people, if they know it's wrong, will probably not do it to begin with. Moral people will most times not do something immoral no matter what the payoff is. Lately, if they choose people that are arrogant and feel they're better and above the rest of the masses in majority, why would any of those people care to let anyone know what's going on, especially if they're manipulated to think they're creating a better world? When was the last time some arrogant, pompous ass cared about the lowerlings? There are many out there who think the masses are nothing but cattle to be lorded over and herded by kings. Do you really think there aren't an abundance of these kind of people, some with power and influence, that could create innocent-looking situations for the more nefarious to use to plant things like incriminating evidence or even explosives? All the rest aside, another tool to get the thousands of people needed for projects while needing to make sure people keep their mouths shut is what is known as compartmentalization. The Vatican has been notorious for this concerning textual translations. They will break a manuscript for translation into parts. They might have 3 groups working on a translation, but those groups will only get every 3rd page of the manuscript. As such, everyone knows about the manuscript, but no one group working on the translation has enough context to know fully what the text in entirety is. Break a project into as many parts as possible, distribute the task to accomplishment in such a way that nobody has a full picture of what's really going on, keep the organizers a limited and trusted few, and reserve the physical task for final project completion to the few you know will keep their mouths shut, and a large, questionable, complex project becomes less of a threat for leak to the public. This also provides plausible deniability for all involved, but the much smaller group carrying out the final action steps of the plan. Manhattan Project is just one prime example of how successful compartmentalization can be. The project included some 130,000 people, yet the public never knew about the nuclear bomb until well after testing was completed. Things like 9/11 would probably take considerably less than 130,000 people. So next time someone suggests a theory probably requiring less than 130,000 people, you might want to think about being so dismissive of their theory, given your suggestion of conspiracy theory will come off a bit ignorant given the facts of the Manhattan Project alone. If none of the rest helps you understand why things stay hidden from the light, then maybe this one will. If you control the few corporations that control everything people see, hear, read, etc., then you control the means and methods for public disclosure. That is the reality of present-day media. A few corporations control 90% of all newspapers, TV, publishing, and radio in America. That is why the stories are uniform, and that is why many use the same teleprompter scripts. You can find plenty of videos on YouTube that prove the suggestion, where different news broadcasters are saying the exact same words for their news reports. Packaged press releases and crisis actors are the present-day norm, ensuring continuity of stories between all networks. This is how stupid they think you are. They think that you can't see the facts presented here. They rely on your inability to look at other actions already brought to light that prove they're lacking morality, which would lend credibility to believing other theories presented that paint them in not so good lights. They rely on your cognitive dissonance and the ways you'll nurse it, justifying everything wrong they do because it's too painful for you to realize and accept they're not what we're told they are, and they don't do what we're taught they should do. They use their control of lamestream media to puppet lies and distortions, character smears and assassinations, to make it unpopular to believe what most critical thinking people can recognize themselves. They use fear-mongering to silence those that know what's going on and the many pieces of evidence that prove it. Through this, they manipulate mob mentality so that peers do their dirty work for them. So go ahead, keep feeding into the stupid, selling out your country, kids, and future generations. They depend on it. They think you're too stupid to figure it out. The saddest part of it is, most are because of conditioning and cognitive dissonance. How long are you going to keep contributing to their lies and distortions because you're too lazy to dig deeper and question? How long will you continue being silent for fear of character smears while our country slips deeper and deeper into the shitter? How much longer will you be too weak to accept we've been lied to, almost from birth, and stop nursing your cognitive dissonance and pain because of such facts? How long until you finally get pissed off to the point that you can no longer care about any of that stuff? How long till you realize humanity is at stake, our freedoms are under assault, and every American citizen is now an enemy of the state unless they agree with the complete status quo? How long until we put petty differences aside and unite so they have no choice but to listen once again to we the people? If you don't understand cognitive dissonance, then catch my video, Why Cognitive Dissonance is Destroying America, another form of orchestrated conditioning. If you're not sure about conditioning or what to learn if you are or aren't, then see my video, Are You Conditioned? Would you know if you were? If you think you're just one person and powerless, then see my video, What Can I Do? I'm Just One Person. Do you want to know what I think it's really going to take to change things? Then see my video, A New American Manifest Destiny. The best defense to this mental onslaught is through understanding what's going on and how they're manipulating and hurting us towards their agendas. In closing, I'd suggest you do us all a favor, including yourself. The next time you're thinking about jumping on that, oh, that's just conspiracy because someone would have said something bandwagon, you might want to remember the facts presented here. Else, you might wind up opening your mouth and inserting both feet clean up to the kneecaps because of the rest in the conversation that realize these points. Educate yourselves. Think about it.